The summer transfer window is always a rough or exciting time for Spurs fans as we're all eagerly expecting signings to come in left, right, and centre. However, most of the time we've been disappointed in the past and seemingly let down. However, so far it seems to be pretty decent. I mean, we made the signings of Perry-Emile Højbjerg and Joe Hart, which I think are personally very smart signings. Not obviously the flashiest of players, but for what we need, they're very good. And in today's video, I'm just going to be breaking down some transfer rumours and targets that have been circling around recently, and just sort of giving my views on them and how I would feel if they potentially came in. So if you do enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and also comment down below who you want to see at N17 this summer. So let's get straight into it. The first big piece of news, I guess, this week from Spurs media journalist Alistair Gold and Football London and various other media outlets is that Jose Mourinho wants to have Matt Doherty as his right back for the upcoming season, and a fee of around 15-20 million pounds will hopefully get the deal over the line. Personally, very, very pro for this one. I would love to see Matt Doherty at Spurs. I think he'd be a fantastic signing. He fills all the things that Mourinho was coming out and saying. He wanted an experienced right back, homegrown, cheap. He's better than Aurier. Maybe not as defensively. I've been seeing some Wolves fans sort of give their views on it and saying that he's good, but maybe not as defensively. But I guess it would be a sense of we wouldn't be worrying as much as we'd be worrying with Serge on the pitch, if that makes any sense. So he's definitely a step up from Serge. However, his defensive capabilities might be a little bit, I guess, sort of undiscovered. But I mean, I'd love him to come to Spurs, especially with everything that's coming out recently. It seems to be near enough a done deal. I'm reading reports saying that it's nearly over the line, a fee around 15 million. Wolves fans have always started saying goodbyes to him. Personally, would love him at Spurs. Very good signing. I mean, yeah, we need a right back desperately, and this is what we need to start doing now. We need to start getting players in that we need. Like, we needed a CDM, so quickly brought in Højbjerg before anyone else, and boom, 50 million, decent. Getting in the right back that we desperately need, because that area is definitely lacking in the pitch, whether we sell Serge or not. And this guy's our only left right back. I would like to see maybe a Max Aarons or a Selic come in to, I guess, provide backup, unless Jose decides to go with Gedson Fernandes, who impressed at right back against Ipswich in a friendly, or whether he wants to use Tanganga or Foyth, who have been known to play there. I mean, I definitely would love to see Matt Doherty in a Spurs shirt next season. I do believe he will be in a Spurs shirt. So out of 10, I'd say this is about a 10 signing, an 8 out of 10, purely because of the price we're going to get him at. He's Premier League experience, homegrown, like I said. So Matt Doherty, do hope he comes to Spurs in the summer. Next up is Gareth Bale. Now, wouldn't be a transfer window, especially in the summer, if Spurs were not linked with a move out for Bale. I would love and hate him to come back, personally. I mean, the reasons why I'd love him to come back is, whether you like to say it or admit it or not, he is a world-class player on his day. I mean, you saw a few years ago in the Champions League against Liverpool, he came on, scored a bicy, and scored a long-range shot. Obviously, depended on Karius being, I guess, having a mare in goal that day, but you cannot deny that he is a world-class player and would certainly be a good player to have. Now, there's been recent reports saying that Jose Mourinho would want him at Tottenham. Personally, I can't see it happening, which sort of goes into my reasons for hating him to come, which would be the massive wage. I mean, he earns, 650k a week, near enough 700k a week, which is nearly over triple Harry Kane's wage, which we just can't afford. I'd rather go get some younger players, some, I guess, better quality players. I mean, Jose said he wants him, but I personally cannot see him coming. I just think maybe it won't be an expensive transfer budget or transfer fee. However, I do believe just with the wages alone, that will also add into it, which will be it'll just be horrendous for us. So I'd love him and hate him to come back, but I do have to believe. I would say I don't think he's coming back. I'm sorry to disappoint Spurs fans, but I want him back. I'm sure a lot of people want him or don't want him back. I do believe he's a world-class player on his day, but at the moment I can't see him leaving. I mean, there was a talk in January about pretty sure his agent laughed off the idea of coming back to Spurs. So I'm not really sure what's going on there, but I can't see him being in a Spurs shirt anytime soon. I do believe he will finish his career at Real Madrid, whether that's sitting on the bench and earning the money, playing golf in the sun in Spain. That's fair enough on him. He's enjoying himself. He's basically a meme at that club now, so whether he can come back and find his football, never know. He could be a good player for us if he came back. He could be a flop, you'd never know, just because of the injury records. Personally, I think he'd be a good signing if he did come back. But then there's always the worry of the wages and the injuries that surround him. So Gareth Bale, I'd say, definitely not coming to Spurs in the summer. Spurs have been linked with Callum Wilson in recent weeks, and I can see why. They need a backup striker. He's cheap. He can do a job in Europa, EFL Cup, FA Cup games potentially. He needs to take the weight off Kane a lot because of the amount of games we're going to play. Like I said, he'd be cheap, homegrown as well. I mean, dependent on what Bournemouth asks for, I think if it's around 10-15 billion, I'd definitely say go get him. I think he'd be class for us, for what he needs to do. Like, I'm sure he'd be happy. You know, he's played for Bournemouth for a fair time. I think it'd be fair if you can say, oh, I came to work with Jose Mourinho. I came to Spurs for a season or two. Hopefully win something in the upcoming season with Jose, which I'm confident of, but only time will tell for that one. I do believe Callum Wilson may join Spurs. I'm not really sure. I know that there's been other names being thrown around, such as Milik from Napoli and the Russian guy Debuzda, I think it is, from I think it's Moscow. Personally, would love to see this guy in a Spurs shirt. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw, but Defoe posted the picture on Instagram and Wilson replied, and then Defoe went something like, oh, are you coming to Spurs or something, lad? Or going to Spurs or something, lad. It'd be funny to see him come, but I do hope that he does wear the lily white shirt next season. And I think all Spurs fans are just desperate for a backup striker at this point. We'll take anyone at this point, honestly. I mean, I personally wanted Giroud in January, but that didn't happen. So I reckon we'll even get him or King from Bournemouth as well. It's a tricky one. It'd be one or the other, I feel. The final player that I'm going to be speaking about is Ivan Rakitic. Now, all the stuff at Barcelona coming out recently, I mean, stuff about Messi wanting to leave, and then when they release all the players for just for the contracts, talk of Luis Suarez being released, Rakitic being one of these players. And Jose Mourinho would like the idea of hiring Rakitic to Spurs purely for the experience factor and having another leader in the dressing room. Semi-Eriksen replacement in the fact that he's quite technical and he's quite a creative player. Personally, I just think it's another wage issue. I mean, if we could afford his wages, I wouldn't mind him coming in for a season or two just to sort of lift the dressing room if needed. I do think he is a very Jose signing in the sense that he's old. He'll do the job. Maybe for Spurs, I'm not sure yet. I do believe that he still has a lot to give in his career. I do think he will leave Barcelona in the summer, maybe whether that's to Spurs under Jose or whether that's to Sevilla in Spain. I do not know, but I would like him maybe to join Spurs. I'm still unsure of it. Maybe not. If he came, I wouldn't be annoyed or upset. I'd be quite happy if he came, to be honest. But I mean, like I said, we don't know what's going to happen this summer, so yeah. So whatever happens with him, Jose said he wants him, so it's up to Levy to decide what he wants to bring him. that's going to bring us to the end of the video. I mean, Don Levy will hopefully deliver us some key signings in the summer. Hopefully when this goes out, we would have signed Doherty. Hopefully got news of a striker coming in, whether that's the likes of Callum Wilson, Joshua King, potentially Luis Suarez, as I think a reporter came out and said that Jose would want him. I'm not sure on that yet, but like I said, time will tell with the summer window. Hopefully we can bring in maybe a centre back, maybe a left back. I wouldn't say that's potentially a issue at the moment, but if we can bring one in, fair enough. If we can't, I won't be annoyed. So, brings us to the end. If you did enjoy, be sure to smash a like, leave a comment, and also don't forget to subscribe. So, I'll see you lot in the next one.